everybody? This is going to be my official second video blog out there on this new channel and all that jazz. So I got a couple questions that I'm going to be answering for you right now. First question was, how did my parents find out that I was a hemophiliac? Long story short, when I was circumcised, the incision did not stop bleeding. So they ran some tests and they ended up having to cauterize, and they ran the tests and everything came back saying that I was a severe type A hemophiliac with a clotting factor of less than 1%. So that is how. There is no previous history of hemophilia in my family. I am the first lucky guy to have hemophilia in my family as far back as there is. And mine was just a mutation of genes. I think it's 1 1/3 of hemophiliacs are because of a mutated gene. It gets a little bit weird when it comes into stuff like that. Like if you have a male that doesn't have hemophilia, but so men have hemophilia, women are carriers, and carriers can suffer from, I don't want to say suffer from, women can show signs from hemophilia as far as having periods that are a little bit more difficult to clot, everything like that. But there are also a lot of women that carry the disease, or disorder, I should say. I hate when people call it a disease. The disorder. When a woman carries hemophilia, there's a lot of times where they don't even know it. And if they were to have kids, the sons would have a 50-50 chance of becoming a hemophiliac, and the daughters would have a 50-50 chance of being a carrier. If, for instance, if I were to have kids, my sons would not have hemophilia at all. But my daughters would be automatic carriers, which kind of comes back to, then if my daughter would have kids, it would go right back to 50-50 chance. So I have a couple friends out there that are hemophiliacs, and they have sons, and they are totally fine. They don't have hemophilia. So that's kind of like the rundown on how hemophilia goes down the ladder. Oh, and then really weird, if neither the male or the female, neither the man or the woman has hemophilia, the kids aren't gonna have hemophilia. Oh, so it's a mutated gene. What? What? Another question that I get asked a lot is, can you have sex? Yeah, I can. Oh, how do I put this without like totally freaking out my family when they're watching this? The swelling of the manhood? Oh, wow, it goes down. There's no problems there. Next subject. So, hemophiliacs bleed into joints, organs. The most dangerous bleed that we can actually have is in the brain. That can result in paralysis, death. That sucks. It's a brain bleed. So I mean, you can just kind of gather what that would mean to somebody bleeding internally into the brain. I have had a couple brain bleeds. And I shouldn't say brain bleeds. I've had head bleeds. And just by bumping your head really hard, like I've hit my head on a fire hydrant. It's another story for another time. And the biggest thing is to make sure the bump goes out and not in. If you hit your head and you're starting to see nothing appear, no lump, nothing, it usually means you have a brain bleed. I've had a few concussions. It's some scary stuff. You can have muscle bleeds are really, they suck a lot, especially in the chest. Because every time you breathe, you're moving those muscles in your chest, and it's like fire, and it's horrible. So muscle bleeds are bad. Another big question is, how do you know if you have a bleed? The best way to explain that is there's swelling, there's a lot of pain. A lot of people get stiffening of the joints where, say, you have a knee bleed, you can't straighten your knee out all the way. Usually pain is the first sign that you have a bleed. So whenever I start hurting in a joint or something like that, it was a lot easier when I was younger because I was newer to the world. I have no idea what I'm talking about right now. I'm kind of all over the place. Now, at the age of 31, I have had 31 years of bleeds and trauma and deterioration of the joints, all kinds of crap. So my joints are pretty bad, and I've had severe osteoarthritis in most of my joints because of the bleeds that I've had in them. You also hear hemophiliacs talking about target joints, which are obviously the joints that they bleed into the most, or that are that are more susceptible to bleeding episodes. And what happens is when blood goes into the joint, it eats at the cartilage, and the cartilage is what is right in between your joints, and that is what allows the smooth movement in your joints. And when when the blood gets in there, it starts eating that cartilage away, and the bones kind of start going together. And finally, when there's no cartilage left, that's when you pretty much get arthritis, and your joints are touching, or your bones are touching. The joint is together, and every time you move it, you are moving your bones against each other. That's not supposed to happen. It hurts a lot. So most of the hemophiliacs that are a little bit older, they have a lot of problems with their joints. So yeah, anyways, I think that was pretty much like the topics that I wanted to kind of run through tonight. If you got a question, comment, anything like that, let me know right here. And I am on YouTube at Missing Factor 8. It's youtube.com / Missing Factor 8. That's my YouTube channel. And if you are checking this out on Facebook, go over to the YouTube channel and subscribe. If you are checking this out on YouTube, go over to my Facebook and not subscribe and like the page. The Facebook is facebook.com / The Missing Factor. So, I'm tired. I'm ready to go to bed. So, do that stuff. I'd appreciate it. And like I said, if you have any questions or anything like that, I'm here to answer questions, to help anybody that needs some contacts. I know people. So, let me know. Feel free to message me, comment, subscribe, rate. Go to the other places. I'm going to bed. Thank you, everybody. Good night, and God bless. And thanks for watching. And I will see you all next time right here on The Missing Factor. Alright, night, guys.